President Biden pushed back on concerns around his age Monday, claiming what really matters is how old your ideas are. You got to take a look at the other guy. He's about as old as I am, but he can't remember his wife's name, Biden 81, the oldest sitting president, said on NBC's Late Night with Seth Meyers, referring to 77-year-old former President Trump, the likely GOP presidential nominee. The comment was an apparent reference to the former president's speech last weekend at the Conservative Political Action Conference, where he seemingly mixed up his wife, Melania Trump, with Mercedes Schlapp, the wife of CPAC chair Matt Schlapp, and a former aide of Trump, per the Associated Press. Biden has received negative press about his age and mental acuity in the wake of a scathing special counsel report that branded him a well meaning elderly man with poor memory. The president responded to the report following its release in a fiery press conference, defending both his memory and mental capability rather. My memory's fine. Take a look at what I've done since I became president. How did that happen? I guess I just forgot what was going on. Host Seth Meyers also asked Biden about conspiracy theories focused on pop superstar Taylor Swift and her football star boyfriend Travis Kelce, a tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. I have you on the hot spot here, Meyers asked, per the Associated Press. Can you confirm or deny that there is an active conspiracy between you and Miss Swift? Where are you getting this information? It's classified, Biden said, noting that the Karma singer endorsed him for the presidency during the 2020 race. I don't care what anybody says. Concerns about Biden's age are legitimate. You have the oldest president in American history, someone who, on top of that, has had instances of either gaffes or making things up, or might possibly just genuinely forget things. And that is something that comes with a person being older. But I do like that in his response, he brought attention to the fact that Trump himself is no spring chicken. And even though he's been a lot better in the past at concealing any possible mental slips or drops, still has had his own recent set of instances where people have questioned if he's all put together. I mean, look at him confusing Nikki Haley with Nancy Pelosi. One is the Speaker of the House. One is was governor of South Carolina. One is in her 50s. One is in her 80s. Like, it just complete lunacy on the part on like. There's no rationale for how you get the two of them mixed up. It's not as if they're both in the House. One was in the House. One wasn't. So I do like that was in his response. But the part about how old your ideas are, I don't think is going to help him. And I know that there's been like suggestions that maybe he should kind of like play up his age a little bit, like as a joke. But I think when you're trying to appeal to people as far as like, hey, I'm still good. He should, like, I think the memory comments were good as far as how could these things have happened if I forgot. But what he is setting himself up for when he says that are the conspiracy. I'm not even gonna call him that. Are the theories that he's asleep at the wheel and that his staffers and various other people in his administration are actually running the show. Like he's the puppet, right, that comes out, and then his staffers and Blinken and the rest of their ilk are the ones that are deciding policy. That's something that he should have addressed. Because when you say, take a look at what I've done since I became president, how did that happen? Well, it's possible that while you're sleeping in your chair, you're being directed by these different staffers and other people behind, in lower positions to make these decisions. Now, can you confirm or deny there's an active conspiracy between you and Miss Swift? Where are you getting this information? It's classified. His response on that, I think, is comedic. Because I think he knows that the way this works is that when people start a conspiracy theory about a person, and in particular a politician, that's it. There's like almost nothing you can do to ward it off. People are still calling Ted Cruz the Zodiac killer. There's still some people who talk about Obama being born outside of the U.S. Just all that. Once that stuff starts, it's impossible to get rid of it or just delete it. So for the foreseeable future, and even after the election, likely, whether Biden wins or loses, they'll say that Swift endorsed him, and she was working behind the scenes, and this all was kick-started by, and like the Super Bowl thing was so dumb because it's like, why the hell would he need to change the results or work with her to change the results Super Bowl for her boyfriend to win if she already endorsed him 4 years ago? Like, what? Why would he need to throw in this like extra incentive for somebody that is presumably already in this column? I can't imagine any justifiable reason why someone who backed him 4 years ago would now suddenly turn on him. That only works if you're Tulsi Gabbard. So I just this interview was to an extent funny, to an extent just part of an effort by him to not look entirely like this refusing to do public appearances politician, which is something that a lot of people have accused him of being, because Trump will sit there, and I remember he gave an hour-long interview, I believe it was Kirsten Walker, on NBC like about 6 or 7 months ago, last year at some point. So his rival, the person presumably that he's going to be running against, no problem doing long-term interviews. And I hope that Biden can figure out that that is something he should. If he's truly as mentally sound as he says he is, hiding in the bunker is over. That worked 4 years ago. We don't know if it's going to work this time. I don't think it will. I think he could still beat Trump, but whatever. Like it depends on what happens. So yeah, I hope that this is like the start of him actually showing some more public appearances.